Hey guys, Zom Fox here, and today we're going to be talking about the UFL social media numbers halfway through the 2024 United Football League season. Yes, it is time for the last of the mid-season reviews where we've already gone over the attendance and the TV ratings. Today we're going to be looking at the social media numbers. Well, let's just talk about, this is going to be an actual positive video. I know YouTube hates positivity, but the numbers have been incredible. I mean, they make the TV ratings look like garbage compared to how good these social media numbers are. Now, before we get to the actual social media numbers, this is from the UFL directly. So there's a couple other stuff that they put out we want to talk about beforehand. So if you end up enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get started with the talk about the broadcast highlights. Now, the UFL put out their official numbers, or what they're talking about overall, about how the 18 telecasts are so far averaging 845,000. Naturally, that is because, 18 because the two regional broadcast ones. It is 25% better than last year's average for all regular season USL and XFL games through week 5, and is a 38% increase over the USL and XFL regular season across all linear networks, and a 33% increase in viewership in the 18 to 49 demographic compared to the USL and XFL through week 5 last year. That's the big one. The demographic is a very, very important number. That is the key area that advertisers want to see, because you could have a channel do let's say 600,000 viewers, but if they're averaging like a 1.0 in that demographic in the rating, that's a very big deal and will be sometimes even better than getting a million viewers but only having a 0.5 in it. So the fact that that number is up is a very good sign for the league, especially given all the sports competition that the UFL has had. Now, the network broadcasts are averaging 958,000, cable is 680,000, big hit because of SS1. Now, the average 1.35 million viewers for the Fox game on March 30th between the Panthers and Battlehawks is the biggest we've seen so far. The viewership across several markets compares favorably against more established NHL and NBA teams, which we've seen. We've seen a lot of games for the UFL actually do better than some NHL games, which is a very good sign. The ESPN Digital show UFL Today's average viewership is through this season is so far up 33% versus last year's full season average. And then the engagement with UFL content across ESPN social channels is up 98% from the XFL season last year. Now, the total unique users of UFL content across ESPN.com is up 156% compared to the same time last year. Now, that number, that's the one number where it is still really great, but part of it, and I say part because it is only part of it, is because of the fact that, the ESPN didn't have USFL stuff on, and so USL fans are using UFL now. But even then, it should not be this high an increase. So that is already a very solid number to see. That the UFL content on ESPN is being increased by that much, that's a very good sign. That is over doubling what it is. Because for those of you who don't know, 100% increase is a literal doubler. So this is a very insane number. This is 2.5 times better than what they had last year. Now, they talk about the attendance and football metrics. There's been over 250K fans that have attended UFL games. I was just listening to a Mike Mitchell interview. Technically, that's still not on track to do better than the XFL did last year. But with how many St. Louis games are left, it actually might be better than the XFL, believe it or not. And they do talk about the 40,000 game that the Battlehawks had, which broke the modern-day spring football record. Now, the football metrics, the last thing to talk about before we get to the social media numbers, the average game time is 2 hours, 56 minutes, and 31 seconds. This is what both leagues have wanted to do. They want to keep these games under 3 hours, make it to where you know exactly when it's going to start, when it's going to end. You don't end up, going into another program and all that, and you keep the games quicker, since a lot of people want games to end quicker, so good thing. 94.9% kickoff return rate, very solid number. You love to see that. And a lot of that is Ramis Ahmed ended up having multiple touchbacks in his first full start or second game. So of course that number is a really good number to see. Average starting field position is at the 36.1 yard line. Some people like that, some people don't. It depends what you kind of view as good or bad for the league. Average of 42.5 points per game. A lot of that average gets taken down because the Roughnecks offense and the Panthers defense. So yeah, those two units have pretty much single-handedly kept this one under 43 points and really under 45 potentially. And then Jake Bates' 64-yard field goal set a spring football record and is just 2 yards short of the 66 record by Justin Tucker, and it was kicked in the same building as Tucker's. So now let's get into the incredible stuff. Let's get into the social media engagement. So the UFL social media engagement numbers have been otherworldly. Now, we knew early on from reports that they were good, but this good? I don't know, man. Look, 175 million views across all social platforms, 67 million on Instagram, 46 million on Facebook, 42 million on TikTok, and 20 million on Twitter. Total views have surpassed the entire season view total for the 2022 USFL season, the 2023 USFL season, and the 2023 XFL season. Just think about that for a second. We are through 5 weeks of the season. Now, yes, we did have, the preseason and all that, but we are 5 weeks through the regular season. And the UFL is already not even beaten, in some cases like the USL, shattered the entire season totals for the USL and XFL. And this isn't even a case of, some USFL fans, some XFL fans. No, for social media to see this number be this just much better than what they did the entire season last year is incredible. That means that, in theory, we could end this season having potentially tripled the numbers that the 2022 USFL season did. And this is a massive deal. And yes, a lot of this is because we had a lot of great early season success, like the Jake Bates story, massive. The Renegades versus the Stallions, massive story. And we saw a lot of those type of stories. But for the numbers to be this good just in views is unbelievable. That is an just insane number to see. So that's incredible, especially when you consider that last year, if you were to add both the USFL and XFL season together, it's probably not going to do better than what the UFL is going to do by itself this season. Now, in terms of overall followers, so far, the Instagram is at 1.5 million overall, Twitter is 852K, TikTok is 745K, Facebook 652K, and then Threads, for those of you who actually use Threads, is 232K. Now, there's been 360,000 new followers since the start of the season. Part of that's Destroying and a lot of other stuff. And then we get to another good sign, and that's the first 5 weeks of the season. YouTube has so far got 7.8 million views and gained 37,000 subscribers. That outperforms the first 5 weeks of the 2023 USFL season, which was 800K views and 4K subscribers, and the first 5 weeks of the XFL season last year, which was even worse in 300K views and 4K subscribers. So another massive gain. 7.8 million views in the first 5 weeks of the season. Shatters what the USFL and XFL did last year. The 37K subscribers shatters what the XFL and USFL had last year. Those aren't just good numbers. Those even make the Instagram, Facebook numbers look terrible. Think about that. How insane of an increase that is. You're talking almost 10 times better than what the USFL did in views. You're talking about a substantial growth in overall subscribers. Almost a 10 times growth in subscriber gain. That's huge. Then, of course, the UFL app that launched on March 19th has 79,000 active viewers and a 4.1 million screen views. And the website that launched on December 31st has 2.7 million users and 7.9 million screen views. I mean, damn. Is there really anything negative to say about these numbers? I mean, the only thing you could maybe somewhat be upset about is the new followers being 360,000, and even then, that would be a nitpick. And you'd only say that because you'd think it'd be a bit better. But, I mean, these are huge. Look, a lot of people always talk about the TV ratings and the attendance for money and for the league. And while it is true that's where the majority of the money is coming from, social media, YouTube, you still are getting money from that. And when you're talking about a spring league that, trying to survive, every dollar counts. And when your social media engagement are just skyrocketing up, you're talking about legitimate financial gains. Now, it might not be, the most insane amount, but it still is something. And this also shows that, at least in social media aspects, the league is doing incredible. Again, we're talking about views for this season through 5 weeks having already been far better than either year of the USFL and the XFL season. We're talking about 360,000 new followers since the start of the season. We're talking about the YouTube numbers skyrocketing compared to what either league did last year through 5 weeks. I mean, 2.7 million users on the UFL website. I mean, all of these numbers are incredible. There's really nothing bad to say. This isn't like the TV ratings where overall it's solid, but there's a couple not as great things. This isn't the attendance where it's majority bad. This is just incredible numbers. This is the kind of thing that gives you hope for the league to last forever. This is the kind of thing that makes you think that this league can last 5, 10, 15 years. Because when these numbers are increasing by this much, you just start thinking, give it like 5 years when there's potentially a couple more teams in the league that gain even more views and all that. Think about when these social media platforms know what's worked and what doesn't. Think about more future, the league growing. These numbers are just going to get better. So it's incredible to see the numbers be the way they are. Now, again, a lot of that was because you had a lot of great things. The Alex Millett play in week 1 really helped out. You had a lot of massive news stories about this. But now let's get into the question, can they be improved? And it's can they be improved? It's not even like these are incredible, but I think there's 2 ways that you realistically could improve these numbers. Now, the first one is for the UFL to just do what you have been doing. Simple. Whatever they're doing, it's working. Just keep doing it. Don't dilute from the plan. You can add on to the plan, but what you're doing is working. You have an Arlington Renegades post. This was from literally the day I'm recording this video. That within the first couple hours is already at almost 10K impressions. That's really solid, and that's just for a jacket advertisement, right? And then, of course, you have other things, just stuff on Instagram, stuff and everywhere. There's a lot of things that you can benefit from with social media, and the UFL's been doing a great job of that. So just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, there's not really much I can say about that. What they've been doing this season has worked. So just keep on doing it. I know I've heard Mike Mitchell talk about the fact that, the UFL's done a really great job at getting highlights out quickly. It's not like, apparently like the XFL, which was a bit slow last year. It's, you're watching the game and about like 4 minutes later, the play you just saw is already posted on Twitter. So when you're able to do something like that, you help people keep up with games, especially on the games that are on cable. So just continue what you're doing. And then the second thing is that fans do their part. I know I do this. I know some of you do this. I think all of you should hopefully be doing this. Repost, like, share, and comment on their channels, right? This is almost as good as just watching a game. I mean, if you're able to repost this, make other people see it, you like the stuff to increase that, everything you do that builds interaction helps, right? It's just like on my channel. I love seeing people comment, like the video. It helps my channel grow because then, it shows that people are interacting with the content. It shows people like what they're seeing. They're wanting other people to see it. It's the same thing for these social media platforms for UFL. If you're doing your part, reposting the stuff, liking it, sharing, and commenting on it, you're going to be helping, grow them as well. And the more you do, the more the league's going to benefit because, even if it's just one person with like 50 followers doing something, it still is something. So taking that literal half a second to do something is going to help out a lot. That's why YouTubers ask you to subscribe and like the videos. That's why I do it. It's because it also helps me out a ton. It helps me grow my channel to reach more people. And if I'm reaching more people as a UFL content creator, guess what? More people are going to go watch the UFL, going to go like and subscribe to the UFL's channel, going to like and share, repost the UFL content stuff. So having fans do their part is a massive deal. We've already seen it with the numbers improving. Can be improved more. So we'll see. So I'll do it. This has been ZomFox. If you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell as I do at least 4 UFL videos a week, as well as 1 weekly short. And if you've been a fan of the channel for a while, think about becoming a channel member. There's a lot of benefits you get. It's as little as 99 cents a month, including 1 exclusive video and multiple team emojis. And as always, have a great night.